Hello and welcome. This is from the CBN. We bring to you weekly reports and expert analysis of the actions, policies, and economic initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. I am Misi Dada. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria had its meeting last week, Monday and Tuesday, reviewed the performance of the bank's intervention schemes targeted at stimulating productivity in the priority growth-enhancing sectors of the economy, urging the bank to redouble its efforts at supporting those sectors and asking the federal government to do more to provide a safe and secure environment for economic agents to boost growth activities. Thereafter, the CBN Development Finance team on Thursday and Friday embarked on an on-site monitoring exercise of some projects in Lagos State that were funded under the Real Sector Support Facility Discretionary Cash Reserve Ratio and the Anchor Borrowers Program, among others. We'll bring you details of that visit in today's package. That's after this break. Stay with us.
North, South, East or West, male or female, old school or millennial, rural or urban, the Naira is the same, and so is the e-Naira. The e-Naira is a legal tender issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So, let's embrace it. The e-Naira will foster financial inclusion, improve access to credit, facilitate cross-border remittances, and it's easier to transfer. E-Naira, same Naira, more possibilities. This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
Welcome back. The Development Finance team of the Central Bank of Nigeria, led by the director, Mr. Yila Yusuf, along with other directors of the bank, were on a two-day project monitoring and evaluation tour from Thursday, May the 26th to Friday, May the 27th in Lagos. The establishments visited in the course of the tour had, through their banks, benefited from the intervention schemes of the Central Bank of Nigeria, such as the Real Sector Support Facility Discretionary Cash Reserve Ratio, RSSF, DCRR, the Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP, among others. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, in the May communique of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting stated that the cumulative disbursement under the RSSF for the financing of 402 real sector projects across the country currently stands at slightly above 2 trillion naira. In energy infrastructure, between April and May, the bank released 15.7 billion naira to power sector players, including generation companies, GENCOs, and gas companies, GASCOs, under the Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading PLC Payment Assurance Facility, bringing the cumulative disbursement under the facility to 1.3 trillion naira. The sum of 22.67 billion naira was also released to distribution companies, DISCOs, for their operational expenditure OPEX and capital expenditure CAPEX under the Nigeria Electricity Market Stabilization Facility Phase 2. Cumulative disbursement under that currently stands at about 252 billion naira. Additionally, under the mass metering program, the bank has disbursed about 0.2 billion naira to DISCOs for the procurement of electricity meters, bringing the cumulative disbursement for the procurement and installation of about 900,000 meters across the country to 47.8 billion naira. On the first day of their tour, the project monitoring team of the CBN visited and listened to presentations from both Ikeja Electric and Eco Electricity Distribution Company in their respective offices.
The central bank, over the last 18 months, has played a critical role in ensuring that there's improved liquidity. And I really would like to thank you on behalf of everyone in the sector, in the value chain. Thank you very much for your support. I would now like to thank you, especially on behalf of Ikeja Electric, for the support you have shown us as well with regards to facilitating the funds for our OPEX, for our CAPEX, a lot of things that we've done over the last 1 year was simply as a result of the funds and the support that was provided obviously by the central bank. So I would like to say thank you once again. And I'm emphasizing because there was a time that Mr. Yusuf had accused me and said, I was looking at your performance record. We were talking about what the Keja lecturer had achieved. And he said he didn't see CBN in that. So I'm using this opportunity to let you know that that performance would not have been possible if we didn't have your support. So thank you once again for that support.
So just to go right into the project, and like I said, this presentation is divided into two major parts, which is on the network expansion part and the technical part, and then on the metering side, which is the NMMP. So I'll do an overview and take some of the slides. When it gets to the technical details, so the CTO will be hands-on to help me. Hands-on here, I'm not an engineer, but you can always support me here. So basically, we have our projects that we're using to drive key objectives of the business into about 5 buckets. So the first one is the network expansion, which is majorly building feeders and injection substations. Also, we also have existing distribution transformers that are overloaded. So part of the funding that we're getting, we're using them to acquire DTs that we use to relieve the existing overloaded ones. As well as the existing network that was inherited, there are issues, we have issues, so we're strengthening them. So the CTO will give you a lot more detail about the actual investment that we're doing in strengthening our network. Finally, we have some key projects for our digital transformation, which is for us to be more efficient in some of our processes, basically. So just to go right into it, and maybe the CTO can help me, these are some of the key projects that we are handling here. So a lot of these are relief of overloaded DTs. So some of these have been delivered, while some are still, delivery of some of them are still in progress. I don't know if you want to add anything at this point.
So installation of this meter, we didn't just try to install the meters to any customers we say. We ensured that we sort of got some benefit for the company. So we had 2 major strategies driving the metering installation. So we wanted to optimize our revenue and also reduce our losses. So our strategy was to close that metering gap on what we call band A, B, C feeders, and also close that metering on prime customers. So at the Electric, we sort of, prior to now, we had sort of segmented our customers. We have some customers we call prime customers, which are customers with high consumption. So these are customers that complain about estimated bills, and so that customers that their bills, their consumption is high on the month. So we call them prime customers. And as we go into the slide, we see the impact of this strategy. In terms of population, the impact of metering on population moved from about 463,000 meters and 450,000 meter customers to 597,000 at the end of the national mass metering, and taking our metering density to 60%. Next slide, please. And in terms of the feeder bands I mentioned, you see that we had 80% of our meters installed in band A, B, and C. And the impact of this is that these are the feeders with 20 to 24 hours power supply. So what it meant is that it reduced the impact of capping on the disco. So the losses would have incurred due to capping was reduced. And it also reduced the impact of estimated billing on the customers. Next slide. And most importantly, this is where we had a huge impact. Before the metering, our prepaid metering, our revenue from prepaid meters was at an average of 3.6 billion. At the end of the metering, we were at an average of 5.1 billion. And we saw the benefit of this metering when, in December, at the peak of activities in the country, the revenue from the prepaid customers was 6 billion. That was the highest we had given. And this shows us that without anything, if there's lockdown in the country, NSAS, corona pandemic, at least we would get 6 billion from customers, as against 3 billion we had when we had the issues in 2020, which increased our losses. And of course, the last slide, this is just shows the snapshots of the funding from CBN. The metering was about 6.3 billion, we had disbursed 5.9, just awaiting 348 million from the from the map that we need to validate the installation, because one of our strategies was that we must have the meters returned, validate that it's there, see it on the headed system, and then disperse the funds.
So procurement under Untitled Power, what we did here is we group the project, we align them to the contractors. So once we call one contractor, we list all the projects under that contractor. So he has 3 lots under this one, procurement of 30 numbers, 500 kV, 11 kV transformers. Currently, he has achieved 36%. That supplies 11 number under out of the 30, 511 kV transformer that is supposed to supply. So one of these constraints is financial constraints. CPG has not been fully related due to their bank's policy to release it. Out of the 30% released to them, 70 were released to them. So also provision of personal protective plans, he has not done anything on that. Then procurement of 15 number, 533,415, he has supplied 7 number. So that's part of the cost of 46% under that one to them.
The industry could not move ahead. We could not even fund the OPEX. We had issues with metering challenges across the whole network area within the country. And we also had issues with infrastructure. And the regulator at that moment just implemented what we call the service-based reflective tariff, where the numbers of hours of service you give to customers, the timing, the tariff, you also charge them. And for us to all serve our customers well, we all know what customers want. They want 24/7 improved power supply, affordable and reliable, and also safe power supply. And we needed investment to ensure that we could give our customers that level of service. And that was when the industry reached out to the regulator, and investment committees reached out to CBN for funding, and it came at the right time. Because at the start of that SBT regime, government could not even fund the subsidy as strict anymore, and we needed to all ensure that the industry keeps surviving. So the OPEX loan came at the right time that helped us to fund our electricity bills to sustain both the GENCOs and the whole value chain industry. So that being said, for EcoDisco, we know what the ATC and C target is. We have strategies towards ensuring that we are moving towards that target, and quarterly on a monthly basis, we evaluate ourselves, we check and implement as we move ahead on everything that we need to do. The projects we've selected are the technical projects were projects targeted towards reducing our technical and commercial losses. The metering that we did was to help with collection and ensure that we're able to bill customers for the energy that they have consumed accurately without dispute between both the DISCO and our customers. And for us to reduce our losses, we need to meter all our customers. And we are quite appreciative of that metering intervention scheme. Albeit it came with some challenges, which my GM loss reduction will touch upon. And I'm trying to also remember the questions. Then in terms of the price review, we wanted to know how we are handling as a team, as an organization. What we've set up internally is that also as a team, we also have our own market review committee. We're checking the reasonableness of the request of what these contractors have put forward to us. Where we've seen that the price variation request they're asking is in line with market realities, we have no choice but to sit on the table to see how, if the regulator can work with us in this, or we need to fund the differential from our own internal generated revenue. Is a decision we need to do, because those projects are critical to the survival of EKDP program, and we just need to conclude this project for us to get the benefits that we need to get.
Apart from the funding support for power distribution in Nigeria's commercial nerve center, the Central Bank of Nigeria is also supporting the Lagos Rail Mass Transit, consisting the blue and red lines, to bring about ease of movement within the metropolis. Work was ongoing at the time of the visit, and the Managing Director of Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Agency, LAMATA, Mrs. Abimbola Akinjo, explained the intended operations of the rail lines to the CBN team. The rail lines are expected to move an estimate of 750,000 to 1 million passengers on a daily basis when completed.
This is one of 8 stations that Lamata is building on the Red Line. And for now, we're well advanced. We're expecting all infrastructure to be completed by the end of the year. That program is set in stone, and we don't have a challenge at meeting that deadline. In terms of operations, we expect to start testing an operation of the line by the end of the year, but by first quarter 2023, we will have operations starting as promised by the governor of Lagos State. Yes.
Total amount was supposed to be disbursed is 68 billion, but I mean what I see here is quite impressive. This is the red line. We earlier, late last year, went to the blue line, and indeed we're going to see the blue line now. What I see here is I'm very, very happy and I'm pleased. And my colleagues have also mentioned that. So we've taken notes and we'll be going back to the central bank with our report.
On the second day of the tour, the CBN Monitoring and Evaluation team paid a visit to 4 companies at the 850 hectares Lagos Free Zone, where one of them, an agrochemical company, shared the story of how it was brought back to life through the financing intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria and now thriving. That's after this break. Do stay with us.
If someone calls or sends you a message that you have payment issues with your bank and requests that you reveal sensitive information, end the call and don't click. It might just be a scam. No bank will ever ask you for your personal identification number, PIN, mobile banking password, or your card verification code, CVC. Scammers always sound genuine, but don't fall for their bait. Don't respond to phony emails or SMS, and don't click on any dubious links. Even if the other party calls your date of birth or your BVN, don't give them your security details. If you suspect there's an issue with your account, the safest thing to do is go to your bank or call the number provided by your bank directly. Protect your bank details so no one steals your money. This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're watching From the CBN, a weekly program that brings to you reports and expert analysis of the actions, policies, and economic initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. Pinnacle Oil and Gas Company was the first port of call for the CBN Monitoring and Evaluation team on the second day of its tour of projects funded through the bank's intervention initiatives in Lagos State. Pinnacle Oil and Gas Terminal Manager Mr. Nahim Ansari mentioned how the CBN intervention enabled the company expand its capacity to handle larger oil vessels for increased profitability and economic impact.
The first vessel that we have handled on 26th of March 2021, and that was around 45,000 metric ton of vessel, that deadweight tonnage. And since then we are, up till now, we normally handle almost 22 and 22 vessels successfully, and the largest vessel that we have handled, that is LR1 vessel, which is around 90,000 metric ton of tonnage. So we are expecting another vessel to come within next week, and currently we have a facility of 14 tanks of 15,000 cubic meter each. Currently we are handling with CBM. CBM is basically a conventional buoy mooring system which has a 4 mooring points, and the vessel normally comes in between the center and hook up from the 4 sides, and we have a submersible hoses and pipes. Those we normally connect with the CBM, and then we receive product from vessel. So we have 2 16-inch of pipeline from CBM. Those we are now currently using, and with those pipelines are basically hooked up with the 2 12-inch of marine hoses. Those are specially designed marine hoses which can resist up to 150 pound pressure rating. The maximum flow rate that we receive around 900 to 1000 cubic meter per line. So we normally finish our vessel in 45-50 hours. So that is the biggest achievement for us.
Next, the team visited Kandel, an agrochemical company, where its chairman, Mr. Charles Anudu, in an emotion-laden voice, narrated how the dying company was resuscitated through the CBN intervention under the Anchor Borrowers program, which has so far disbursed more than ₦1 trillion to farmers across the country.
We shut down 2 years, couldn't service the loan, couldn't do anything. He came. Well, on a Saturday even he took his own private time. I think somebody must have told him about. He thought I was lying. He was at Hayden filling station in front of BGC. He called me at 9 in the morning. Where are you? He said, can you meet? And we came all the way from there to him. You will not believe it. And when he looked around, he saw it was true. He didn't give me money, but at least he linked us to the Anchor Borrowers program. That is what has revived. So when you talk about Anchor Borrowers, it's not only to the farmers, it's also the entire value chain that is activated. It's not even oxygen. There are a lot of our suppliers also who are benefiting from this. People who make cartons, people who make labels. We are employing how many people here? A lot of young people, hundreds of young people. So you see that money has a multiplier effect. The program is not just the rice pyramid or maize pyramid that people are seeing. Haulage. We can't get enough trucks here to move things. You understand? Before, when we were not available, these products became very, very unaffordably expensive. But now they are becoming more affordable, they are becoming more available. We have employed, we now have how many outlets? Almost 20, 30 something now, 20 plus around the first 14, around 34. And each and every one of these outlets, that is depots, are being manned by people. These are young graduates getting jobs. The programs of CBN has really helped. I am giving that testimony today, that it has really, really transformed our company. We still have our issues. When the cameras are out, we can talk.
The team was at the Lagos Free Zone Seaport, which is said to be 90% completed with a deadline of September for total completion and early January 2023 for commencement of commercial operation. The seaport will ease congestion at the existing port in Lagos and bring succor to port users.
Like what we tell people is that we're building one of the most efficient seaports in West Africa. So when we talk about the port efficiency, we talk about our equipment, we talk our operational process of coming in and going out, and we talk of our marine infrastructure. So for the equipment, we're actually using some special type of equipment, like we have what they call the XTS, that is ship-to-shore crane. Like they used to have it in Apapa, it's smaller, but what we are bringing is going to be the largest in West Africa. It's not that we're bringing it, it's on its way to Nigeria as we speak, all the way from China. By the end of June, we will have it here. Now, what that does is that it picks your container from the vessels automatically and it drops it on land side. Now, if you see what is going on in Apapa, you see them doing it manually. Somebody has to drive the crane. Hey, leave the road, we are coming. You see them controlling. Now, with this will actually reduce the clearing time of the vessel of the container from the vessel to the land side.
The CBN intervention accessed during the period of the COVID-19 pandemic came at the right time for Sana Building Systems, according to the managing director of Sana Group, Ala Halgad Ban. The steel company is currently exporting to few West African countries.
The BEB business has been imported to Nigeria for the last at least 20 years, and we were the first to establish this high-tech product here with highest technology. Today our engineers are doing that locally. We are exporting to Cameroon, we are exporting to Ghana. We get a great help from our bank, FCMB, then further the biggest support from Central Bank of Nigeria. They believe in us, they trust us, and we're really thankful for the trust they give in us, for the facility is given to us. If we get more, we can do more. And thanks God that we are here today. The impact has given us a relief first the 2 years moratorium. We get extra in the intervention, of course, give us relief, especially it came in the right time, in the Corona time where the business was down. Then dropping the interest from 2 digit to a single digit for another 5 years to 7 years, that of course make any business great and easy. That make this business happen actually. Without it, I don't know if we would have done it or not. We really appreciate the support of the CBN Bank. Okay.
This factory is the result of the funding that we've received. Without that support, honestly, we could not have made it happen. So we're very grateful that the CBN is as diligent in building the economy.
We've been around quite a number of factories to see for ourselves what the support the Central Bank has given to these companies is producing in terms of results. And the outcome has been very positive. We are quite impressed with what we've seen. And this goes to show that the support that the Central Bank has given in terms of promoting the growth of the real sector is quite strategic, and given the potential benefits both in terms of employment generation and the impact across the entire value chain is quite massive. We need more of this type of efforts on the part of the private sector, and I supervise the banks, and banks need bankable projects like this to be able to thrive. So there is a sense in which all these dots connect, all for the benefit, ultimate benefit of promoting the growth and development of the Nigerian economy at large.
We have come to the end of this week's package from the CBN. You can get your unreserved banking issues across to the CBN Consumer Protection Department using the email address cpd@cbn.gov.ng. Attach relevant documents. Call the CBN Contact Center using the phone line +234 700 2255 226. Local call rates may apply. Send your inquiries and comments to the dedicated email address from the cbn@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for updates and uploaded episodes of the program. We invite you to join us again next time. I am Muliye Misi Dada. Stay safe. Bye for now.